Hey, what's up guys? Fisher here, back with another video. We're playing some Black Ops 3, shooting up some bots here, and I just wanted to talk about a topic of not being afraid to be yourself. Because I notice in life, a lot of people are afraid to be themselves, and they just want to fit in with the cool kids, and they want to fit in with the cool adults, and do the partying, the drinking, whatever it is that the cool people do is what they want to do, and they're afraid to, be themselves. If a lot of people party and drink and they're not really into it, but they do it because other people are into it, and they think that it makes them cool, when in reality you're miserable, and that's just not right. You shouldn't do things that you do not like doing, besides your mandatory tasks like going to work, and but that's neither here nor there. What I want people to understand is that you don't have to fit in with the cool kids, man. Like, you fit in with people that you fit in with. If you love Pokemon, you're not gonna hang out with people that don't enjoy Pokemon, because you don't want to have nobody to talk to and be nobody to share your interests with. And so if you like Pokemon and all you do is hang out with people that don't like Pokemon, you're not really being your true self, because you don't necessarily have people around you to talk to about Pokemon. Now, I have no idea what my melee key is. Oh my god. I just kind of booted this up. And I know a lot of people. I have quite a few friends that are into things that I'm not into, but I respect their passions, and I respect them more for not hiding their passions and hobbies from me, trying to be cool and fit in with a friend group. You know what I mean? You're a much better person if you express. Sorry guys, my dad came in the room. So I think what I was saying is like how I respect people more who aren't afraid to share their I'd say passionate about their passions and their hobbies. I think that this game is going to end relatively quick, so I'll put us into the exact same game again. But I think that people are much happier when they're not afraid to be themselves. If you live day to day with a hobby and a passion that you think that nobody will like you if that is your hobby or your passion, you're wrong. There are so many different hobbies and passions that people have that are shared amongst thousands of people. There are 8 billion people on this planet. There's not a one person on this planet that doesn't share the same hobby. I can probably confirm that. So being afraid to be that inner nerd, that geek over whatever you're super passionate about it's very cowardly, I'd say, because it's not really your true self. And what I want people to take from this video is that it's okay to be a nerd. It's okay to have an absolute fire burning passion for art. It's absolutely okay to have a fire burning passion for Pokemon. It's absolutely okay to have a fire burning passion for getting up in the morning and making the perfect cup of coffee. It is absolutely okay to have a fire burning passion for collecting baseball cards, for collecting rocks, for collecting animal hair samples to study in a lab. You know why? Because that makes you you. You are so enthusiastic about something. There are people that will be have the same enthusiasm as you. And that is why it's okay to be a nerd, because you're not alone. if people make fun of you for your hobbies, they're not people that you need to have around your life, because they're just negative. You don't need that negativity in your life. What you need to do is look for with the growth of social media in the last decade, there are tons of different groups and I'm gonna play Fringe on Facebook, Discord, Twitter, everything. There are so many people out in the world that share the same hobbies as you. It's insane. So being afraid of showing and sharing and expressing interest in your passions and hobbies is not okay, because inevitably you're hiding your true self, and that is something that you do not want to do, because it can affect you in life. It can make you much sadder than you typically should be, and you do not need to fit in with the cool kids. I'm telling you, growing up as a kid, I was a big fan of Call of Duty. I still am, and I did not care who didn't like Call of Duty, because I only talked to people that liked Call of Duty. You know why? Because it was a passion of mine. I loved Call of Duty. Everything about this game I loved. And to be honest, I'm playing my favorite Call of Duty of all time. This is probably the best Call of Duty I've ever played. Which is why I'm making a video about a passion of something, and not being afraid to express your passions and hobbies while playing one of my favorite hobbies, this Call of Duty. Look at that. Oh my gosh, Black Ops 3 trophy system. Oh my god, turned up. The another thing is have more than one hobby. I want people to have more than one hobby, because it's good for you. If you have one hobby, that's totally fine. But having multiple hobbies is even better, because then you can creatively express your mind through multiple waves instead of just focusing your mind on one hobby. Now, you can have your passion that you dedicate the most time to, but also look into taking up other hobbies, other interests, because you never know, something else could trigger that creative brain inside of you, or that super passionate dopamine, and you may fall in love with it. And I noticed that, like, a lot of people, especially in the high school years, when I was in high school, I had seen a lot of people afraid to express their nerdy interests. And, you know, not their nerdy interests aren't necessarily Dungeons and Dragons and Magic the Gathering, but like I've spoken to a few athletes who were really into chess, and they were afraid to express that because they were the cool kids because they played football. So my message to you is, if you're passionate about something, do not be afraid to be a passionate person about that, because inevitably you will be happier. Regardless of the negativity, you will be 1,000 times happier if you're not afraid to be you. And, you know, for some people it's hard, but I want each and every single one of you guys to work every single day at learning how to be comfortable with who you are. Because once you're comfortable with who you are, life is amazing. Whether that's, you know, physically, mentally, I want everybody to strive to be great every single day. And don't be afraid, because being afraid holds you back. Yeah, guys, I think that's all I really have to ramble about today. It's kind of a short video, but I wanted to talk about it because I was talking to this kid at work. My work has a program where we bring in younger kids, about high school age, and he was telling me how he wanted to be in the robotics team, but he's afraid of being called a nerd. And that triggered that in my head. Like, I told him, I said, hey man, don't be afraid to join that robotics team. Robotics is cool as hell. And if anybody has anything to say about it, their opinion's not relevant. You know why? Because you're the only opinion that matters. If you think that joining the robotics team is going to be awesome, join the robotics team. And he said, you know what, man? You're right. Thank you. I appreciate that advice. That was some really good advice. And so I figured I'd make a video sharing my input on expressing the nerd within, because it's not something to be afraid of. It's something that you should strive to do. Anyways, guys, I'm going to wrap the video up here. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you did enjoy, please drop a like. You do not have to subscribe. And comment down below, what are your guys' passions and hobbies? I'd like to know. See you guys.